Is it okay to masturbate without porn if I'm trying to overcome and heal a pornography addiction? You know, this is probably one of the most common questions that I get. I hear this weekly, multiple times per week from men that are reaching out to us. For those of you that are not aware of who I am, my name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of Rebuilt Recovery, the world's #1 porn addiction recovery program. Our methods, our tools, and our courses and coaching have helped over 1,500 men shatter their pornography addiction and go on to live the life that they've been called to live over the last 4+ years. But this question comes up all the time, both from men inside of our community, but also from men that are out there consuming the content and are trying to break free. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, I'm going to unpack this question and give you my thoughts and insights and maybe give you a better way to look at even the idea of this question that you're asking. Because I think the question, is it okay to masturbate without porn if I'm trying to overcome pornography addiction, is a horrible question to ask if you want me to be radically honest. It is a horrible question. And if you're asking that question, that's probably why you're still stuck, because you're not looking at recovery through the proper lens. Instead of saying, is it okay? Because here's what that's doing, is it's placing these things into these buckets of good versus bad. Is it okay to do this? It's not okay to do this. This over here, I'm not able to do. This over here, I can kind of like live in a gray area a little bit. Instead of asking the question, is it okay? Why don't you ask yourself the question, is it necessary? Is it necessary for you as a grown man to masturbate? Is it necessary for you as a grown man to step away in privacy and secrecy, using either mental images or pictures of your wife to pleasure yourself? Is that a behavior that you're proud of? Is that something that if you were caught in the act of doing, you would feel confident in? And if the answer to those questions are no, that it is not necessary, then it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter if it's okay. Now, Frank, I need a release, right? Oh my God, Frank, I have such a high sex drive. There's so much tension building up inside of me. I can already see and hear the pushback from so many of you out there. What, Frank doesn't want me to masturbate anymore? I don't care what you do with your life. You guys clicked on this video. You guys clicked on the podcast because you want to learn. You want to grow. You want to evolve. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your life. That's not my job. That's not my responsibility. My calling is to the men that are actually looking to level up. My calling is for the men that are saying, hey, I am committed to getting this out of my life. I am committed to becoming the man that God has called me to be. That's who I'm here to serve. So if you want to continue down a life of pleasuring yourself alone in secrecy, click off the episode right now, because we're not for you. But I can challenge you that masturbation is not necessary in any of your lives. You got to masturbate because your wife doesn't want to have sex with you? You got to masturbate because your sex drive is higher than hers? Maybe ask yourself the question, why won't my wife have sex with me? You see how you flipped it now? You kind of turned it internally. Okay, you've now taken responsibility for the situation. Instead of saying, hey, my wife's not going to do this for me, so I need to do it by myself without her, I would say, ask yourself the question, why isn't your wife willing to have sex with her husband? Oh, Frank, it's been a long day at work, man. You know, just a little bit of a release before I go to bed is going to help me sleep at night. Now, what you're saying there is that there's no other ways to deal with your stress. There's no other ways to regulate your emotions. There's no other ways to help yourself calm down before going to bed. Now, how's that limiting you? How's that limiting your growth as a man? How's that limiting your confidence? How's that limiting your ability to show up at work? If your work is so stressful that at the end of the day, you need to think about some naked women while pleasuring yourself, then you're probably not living up to your potential at your job to begin with. No, Frank, I just got all this tension built up inside of me, right? I'm a young man, I'm thriving, right? All this creative energy is flowing through me. Now, what you're saying there as a young, vibrant, vital man that is here to build something and create something in this world, that it's better for you to waste that energy into a towel than learning to transmute it and create something meaningful for the world. You see how asking better questions will reveal to us better answers? You see how instead of saying, should I or should I not do this? If you ask the question, why do I need to? Why do I need to, at the end of a long day, have a drink? Why do I need to, at the end of a long day, need to have a smoke? Why do I need to, at the end of a long day, need to think about looking at porn or masturbating? Millions of men that came before you, for centuries before you, lived their lives fulfilling, purposely, without having these vices in their life. So why do you need them? So once again, it's not about can I, should I, is it right, is it wrong? It's saying, do these things make me the best version of myself? Is masturbating something you're proud of? Whether or not it's to pornography, to a picture of your wife, or just to your thoughts. Is that something you want to carry around? Is that something you want people to talk about at your funeral? Man, Frank, he was the best masturbator we ever knew. Probably not, right? Well, here's a challenging quote from the book Atomic Habits. What you do when you're by yourself is really who you are. Are you stepping out into the world and projecting yourself to be a man of confidence, a man of integrity, a man of strength, a man of discipline, a man of honor, a man of integrity? One that is here to lead, serve others, make the world a better place for those that need it from him. But then when he's by himself, he needs to do these things. Now, these are a lot of questions that we can ask ourselves. But if we want to get into the science of the brain rewiring, if you're trying to overcome a pornography addiction, you have neural firings in your brain that certain imagery, certain thoughts, certain actions, certain behaviors lead you to needing to release through porn and masturbation. Now, the amazing part of the brain is it doesn't know the difference between something that you visualize or something that you see in the real world. This is why manifestation is such a powerful tool. This is why visualizing is one of the greatest tools for success in your life. Think about the things you want before you'll ever be able to create them. Well, if I've looked at the same type of videos on the internet for 10 plus years, I've hard-grained that into my mind. Now I don't go to the internet and type www, but I actually think about the same images, think about the same videos. My brain is not able to decipher the difference between, is that real? Is that something that I'm looking at? Or is that just something that I'm thinking? So all you're doing is you're hardwiring those pathways even deeper. So if you actually want to quit pornography, if you actually want to heal from this compulsion and addictive behavior, then yes, stopping masturbating through visualization is going to be necessary. Guys, we've launched a brand new school community here, School for Reboot Your Life. It's been our #1 program. And why I've created this community is because of today's conversation with you. I want to create a place, I want to create an environment where even after you've conquered the addiction, you can stay a part of our community, continue to grow, level up, and become the man that God has called you to be. If you go to school.com, SKOOL.com/reboot your life, you'll get all the details on how to join the community and claim back control of your life and become the man that God has called you to be. God bless you guys. We love you. We'll see you on the other side.